Good morning, students. In last lecture, we studied about hydrostatic thrust on submerged surfaces. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about buoyancy and stability of unconstrained bodies. So, before that, we have to learn about concept of flotation. Whenever a body is placed over a liquid, either it sinks down or floats on the liquid. This is due to gravitational force or upthrust of the liquid. If the gravitational force is more than upthrust force of the liquid, the body will sink down, and if the gravitational force is less than upthrust force of the liquid, the body will float. Then what is the principle of flotation? It states that a floating object displaces its own weight of the liquid in which it floats. Weight of floating object equal to weight of liquid displaced. When a ship displaces a weight of seawater equal to its own weight, it floats. This is known as principle of flotation. Then what is buoyancy? The tendency of fluid to uplift a submerged body due to the upward thrust of the fluid is known as buoyancy or force of buoyancy. It is always equal to the weight of fluid displaced by the body. Then what is center of buoyancy? The point at which the force of buoyancy is act is called as center of buoyancy. Okay, it is always lies center of gravity of the volume of liquid displaced. Okay, so buoyancy, flotation and stability we are going to discuss about in this lecture. It is common experience that an object feels lighter and weighs less in a liquid than it does in a air. This can be demonstrated easily by weighing a heavy object in water by a waterproof spring scale. Also, objects made up of wood or other light materials float on water. These and other observations suggest that a fluid exerts an upward force on a body immersed in it. This force that tends to lift the body is called the buoyant force, and it is denoted by Fb. The buoyant force is caused by the increase of pressure in fluid with depth. Consider, for example, a flat plate of thickness h submerged in a liquid of density rho f parallel to the free surface as shown in the figure. Okay, the area of the top and also bottom surface of the plate is a and its distance to the free surface is s. The pressure at the top and bottom surface of the plate are rho f gs and rho f g in bracket s plus h respectively. Then the hydrostatic force F top equal to rho F GSA acts downward on the top surface, and the larger force F bottom equal to rho F G in bracket S plus H A acts upward on the bottom surface of the plate. The difference between these two forces is a net upward force, which is the buoyant force. So Fb is equal to F bottom minus F top equal to rho Fg in bracket S plus H in bracket complete A minus rho Fgsa. It is equal to Fb is equal to rho F GHA equal to rho F GV, where V is equal to HA is the volume of the plate. But the relation rho F GV is simply the weight of the liquid whose volume is equal to the volume of the plate. Thus, we conclude that the buoyant force acting on the plate is equal to the weight of the liquids displayed by the plate. Okay. Note that the buoyant force is independent of the distance of the body from the free surface. It is also independent of the density of the solid body. This is known as Archimedes principle. After the Greek mathematician Archimedes 287-212 before calendar, and it is expressed that the buoyant force acting on a body immersed in a fluid is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body, and it acts upward through the centroid of the displayed volume. Floating bodies are a special case. Only a portion of the body is submerged with a remainder poking up out of the free surface. So, buoyancy force equal to lambda into displaced volume equal to floating body weight. In figure you can see neglect the displaced air up here, and displaced volume into lambda of fluid equal to body weight. Okay. A body immersed in a fluid. You can see in the figure floating body, suspended body, neutrally buoyant, and sinking body. Okay. First, remains at rest at any point in the fluid when its density is equal to the density of fluid. In second case, sinks to be the bottom when its density is greater than the density of fluid. And in third case, rises to the surface of the fluid and floats when the density of the body is less than the density of fluid. These three cases are shown in the figure. Let's take one example. A crane, as shown in figure, a crane is used to lower weights into the sea. Density is equal to 1025 kg per meter cube for an underwater construction project. Determine the tension in the rope of the crane due to a rectangular 0.4 meter into 0.4 meter into 0.3 meter concrete block. Density is equal to 2300 kg per meter cube when it is case A suspended in the air and case B completely immersed in water. So let's start with solving it. Analysis. Case A. Consider the free body diagram of the concrete block. The forces acting on the concrete block in air are its weight and the upward pull action in bracket tension by the rope. These two forces must balance each other, and thus the tension in the rope must be equal to the weight of the block. V is equal to 0.4 meter into 0.4 meter into 3 meter equal to 0.48 meter cube, and Ft in air equal to W equal to rho concrete, density of concrete, into G into V equal to, by putting the values in that formula, rho density of concrete equal to 2300 kg per meter cube, G is 9.81 meter per second square, and V is equal to 0.48 meter cube into 1 kilonewton divided by 1000 kg into meter per second square equal to 10.8 kilonewton. Okay, and in case B, when the block is immersed in water, there is the additional force of buoyancy acting upward. The force balance in this case gives Fb is equal to rho F into G into V, where density of F equal to 1025 kg per meter cube into G 9.81 meter per second square, and V is equal to 0.48 meter cube in bracket 1 kilonewton divided by 1000 kg into meter per second square, and by solving it we can get the value of Fb is equal to 4.8 kilonewton. So Ft water equal to W minus Fb equal to 10.8 minus 4.8 equal to 6.0 kilonewton. Note that the weight of the concrete block and the Thus, the tension of the rope decreases by 10.8 minus 6 divided by 10.8 equal to 55% in water. Okay. Let's take example 2. A 170 kg granite rock, rho 2700 kg per meter cube, is dropped into a lake. A man dives in and tries to lift the rock. Determine how much force the man needs to apply to lift it from the bottom of the lake. Do you think he can do it? So let's start by solving it. Can he do it? So analysis. The weight and volume of the rock are W is equal to mg equal to, by putting the values in the formulas, m is equal to 170 kg into 9.81 meter per second square in bracket 1 Newton divided by 1 kg dot meter per second square. By putting values we can get the value of W is equal to 1668 Newton, and phi is equal to m divided by rho. M is the 170 kg and rho density 2700 kg per meter cube equal to 0.06296 meter cube. The buoyancy force acting on the rock is Fb equal to rho water density of water into G into V equal to, by putting the values in that formula, 1000 kg per meter cube into 9.81 meter per second square into 0.06296 meter cube into 1 Newton divided by 1 kg dot meter per second square. We can get the value Fb is equal to 618 Newton. The weight of the body submerged in water is equal to the weight of the body in air minus the buoyancy force. So W in air water equal to W in air minus Fs. Okay, Fb. So 1668 minus 618 equal to 1050 Newton. The force corresponds to a mass m is equal to weight of water, weight W in water divided by G equal to 1050 N divided by 9.81 meter per second square into 1 Newton divided by 1 kg into 1 meter per second square equal to 107 kg. Therefore, a person who can lift 107 kg on earth can lift this rock in water. Okay, understood? Okay. Then stability of immersed and floating bodies. Stability of immersed and floating bodies. An important application of the buoyancy concept is the assessment of the stability of immersed and floating bodies with no external attachments. This topic is of great importance in the design of ships and submarines. Okay, this is the most important application of buoyancy concept while designing the ships and submarines. A body is said to be in a stable equilibrium position if we displayed it returns to its equilibrium positions. That is, as shown in figure, stable and unstable. Conversely, it is in an unstable equilibrium position. If we displayed even slightly, it moves to a new equilibrium position. Okay. Stability considerations are particularly important for submerged or floating bodies, since the center of buoyancy and gravity do not necessarily coincide. A small rotation can result in either a restoring or overturning couple. For example, for the completely submerged body shown in figure, which has a center of gravity below the center of buoyancy, a rotation from its equilibrium position will create a restoring couple formed by the weight and the buoyant force which cause the body to rotate back to its original position. Okay. Thus, for this configuration, the body is stable. It is to be noted that as long as the center of gravity falls below the center of buoyancy, this will always be true. That is, the body is in the stable equilibrium position with respect to small rotation. For unstable condition, if the center of gravity of the completely submerged body is above the center of buoyancy, the resulting couple formed by the weight and the buoyant force will cause the body to overturn and move to a new equilibrium position. Thus, a completely submerged body with its center of gravity above its center of buoyancy is in an unstable equilibrium position as shown in figure. For floating bodies, the stability problem is more complicated since as the body rotates, the location of the center of buoyancy may change. A floating body can be stable even though the center of gravity lies above the center of buoyancy. This is true since as the body rotates, the buoyant force shifts to pass through the centroid of the newly formed displayed volume and is illustrated combines with the weight to form a couple which will cause the body to return to its original equilibrium position. However, for the relatively tall, slender body shown in figure below, a small rotational displacement can cause the buoyant force and the weight to form an overturning couple as illustrated. Here you can see the figure centroid of original displayed volume and centroid of new displayed volume for stable condition after restoring couple, and for unstable condition see centroid of original displayed volume and centroid of new displayed volume. You can see the difference in stable and unstable condition. Okay. Then stability of immersed and floating bodies. Stable, unstable conditions, restoring moment and overturning moment. You can see the different conditions metacenter for ships. A floating body is stable if the body is bottom heavy and thus the center of gravity G is below the centroid B of the body, or if the metacenter M is above point G. However, the body is unstable if point M is below point G. So, in this chapter, we studied about buoyancy and flotation and the submerged body and floating bodies stability. Okay, thank you.